Hi everyone. I wonder if you'll be able to hear me with all the wind. There's a storm coming in. I've really had to rethink about September. It used to be a time that I didn't particularly care for. It meant the beginning of school. Didn't care for school. It meant fall, which meant cold weather was coming. I'm not built for cold. I survive it. But since gardening, seriously, and watching the weather, I've really come to appreciate September. There is a lot more abundance in September, and the weather is so much more pleasant to be around. I really like September now. I'm gonna do some chores this morning. It's still morning. I usually don't shoot till the afternoon. But the rain's coming in the afternoon, so I'm gonna get this done. Putting in our food scraps. But the harvest, there's a lot to harvest in September. A lot of people start putting their beds to rest now. And obviously it depends on what part of the country you're in. But where I'm at, fall gardening is not a thing. It's new to me, even though I did it just on a whim last year, just because I was lazy and didn't want to pull anything up. And saw how many things lived through winter and was still going strong the following year. So today I want to pull up any tomatoes that are ripe already. So I don't want them to burst with all the water they'll be getting. And just have a look around to see what else is coming in. Here we have the bell peppers. Finally getting some color in them. They're on the tiny side. I'll be freezing the bell peppers to use throughout the winter. So 2 plants is sufficient for our needs. The Gobstopper, which I planted in August, it's a cherry tomato, is coming on. So I might actually be able to taste some fruit before frost hits us. And then okra, which is a silly experiment, but not really, because I see some little baby okra coming up. You see this? I think we might get to eat some before I have to pull up the plants. So I haven't done much with the hot peppers. One, from lack of enough harvest, and 2, from just general inexperience with the plant. But quite a few of my peppers have holes in them, so that's a little bit disappointing. So I finally planted out the Birdies raised beds with the kale, tatsoi over there, bok choy or pak choy, I'm not sure what survived. Then over here we got the spinach and calendula. Super late in planting them, but they might come up. Here we have just random tomatoes that I put in, so I'd run out of places for them. This is the cherry. It's huge. The fruits are super tiny. This is what happens when you let them just push out, and there's a million flowers, but very little fruit. The fruit are super tiny. And here we have one of the Germans German green, I believe. This one's doing pretty well. This one's ready. And there's plenty more fruit to come. And I've had some really good sized fruit from this. But alas, the slugs get to them first. And look at the size of that one. But it's already got mold on it. Boo. This one sprawled on the ground is, which one's this one? The Rutgers. It's a beautiful tomato. Beautiful. And this one didn't get attacked as much for being on the ground. Here's one with a hole through it. There's a beauty. Let's see. Getting buried by. We just shoot the lawn clippings in this direction. This is the patch of where I planted asparagus. There's so much more fruit still coming. And this is another German green that, look how gigantic this fruit is. Unfortunately, it is for the bugs. Oh, awesome size. And the San Marzano is on its way out a lot. Let's see, we're getting rot mainly. There's one that's still good, because this one's more susceptible. It's on the ground. The bugs like this one. Nope, that one's got a hole. Lots of holes. Let's see, this one's good. Nope, that's not good. And I'm just leaving them here to rot down, be bug food. I know I'll get a lot of volunteers next year. That's okay. They're easy enough to pull up. Or not pull up. It's the end of the road, almost, for some of the winter squash. I know this one is ready. I did the fingernail test, and the shell, the skin, is not pierceable. Let me harvest this. You can see it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's really strong on there. Okay. Grab it. Oh, I can't do this with one hand. Alright, I got my first butternut. Nice size, I'd say. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Grab them in the basket. Oh, don't squash the tomatoes. Okay. Alright, there's another one back there. Can I reach it? Oh, mosquito got me. Alright, step into the sweet potato bed. And let's do the fingernail test. If we can pierce the outer skin fairly easily, then it's not ready. This one is. Oh goodness, look at that size. That's beautiful. Oh. The whole vine's coming up. This vine is done for. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness, this is so difficult. Oh, no, took the whole plant. Ah, there we go. Oh, this one's even bigger. Look at that. I'm not going to be able to carry this basket. It's too heavy already. Oh. Alright, I see. Oh. I know there's a couple more, but I'm sure they're not ready yet. Because I pierced one of the smaller ones and it went right through. So I'm going to give those their time. They got time yet. And look at this. The vine just kept on going. And look at this. Babies are coming up. Baby, 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 baby. Of course, these aren't going to get pollinated because it's too late in the season. But this one managed. Trooper. And that happened as the plant was already, in death's door. And then the other thing that astounds me is the beans. The beans have made a comeback. They were so pathetic in the summer. And now I have such beautiful beans coming in. Roasting these, pan frying, not roasted. And garlic and oil, so delicious. Never give up on your plants. I mean, look how pathetic. You'd think they were dead and dying. These are the green beans, the pole beans, the long noodle beans. Those petered out pretty early. So we're gonna have to reassess how we do those next year. My beautiful loofahs. Look at this. What? Where did you come from? Little loofah. Think you got any time left in you? Oh my god, another one. You guys. These plants are ridiculous. It's September. Nobody gave them the memo that it's nap time. These took forever to flower. The nasturtiums. But they finally are. And they're sprawling everywhere. I do have to harvest the celery. It is way past due, I think. I gotta get these in the freezer. Look at the size of these leaves. It's a hand size of these Malabar spinach. They are gigantic. It's a thing of beauty. Oops, it's ripped up. But I prefer the smaller leaves. They're kind of intruding on the carrots here. I'll trim that in a little while. Yes, I finally harvested the carrots and beets. So the Danvers, while still small, 2.5 inches, has very good girth. 2 inches wide, this one anyway. Aphids all up in there. They were consistently stubby, which shouldn't have been the case. But I did overplant them, so I'm sure next year, now that I've learned my lesson, they will be pretty good. And here's one that forked and did something gnarly. But the rainbow blend packet I got, which has no pictures, from Eden Brothers, yeah, I'm not impressed. There were a lot of really thick stalks. Like there was a white carrot. I only had one really good sized white carrot, but the stalks are considerably thick, but nothing to show for it. And a lot of them were already going to flower, and this is only their first year. Here's one. Like I had a lot of them. Here's a flower. This is a different carrot going to flower on the first year. So they must have been really stressed out to be doing that, because they're not supposed to do that till the second year. Should have gotten a lot more girth on that one. So we have a consistent bunch of teeny tiny carrots. I mean, I like these. They're tiny, but at least they're plump. Something to bite into. But a lot of these rainbow blend varieties, they're just, I mean, you cook that and it shrivels up into nothing. What is that? That's still root. That's not even a carrot. Now the beets, I thought I planted more cylindras, but I guess not. They didn't get very big. I think I harvested the big ones in the beginning. I thought these, having had more room, they would get bigger. That was not the case. Not very many cylindras of great stature. The Detroit Reds, this definitely got nice bulk to it since I pulled out its neighbors. And then the others, consistent golf ball size. Plenty of tiny tinies. But I can do something with that. Yay. So I cleaned out that bed. I'm proud of myself for doing something I should have done. And then also I'm regretting it, because maybe they could have gotten bigger. Maybe getting that cold snap, people say, makes them sweeter and whatnot. But I don't know. It was just bugging me, so this makes me feel better. Well, now I gotta fix this bed and then fill it up and get it ready for next year. Stevia's flowering. I really wanted to love stevia, but I didn't. It's got a weird aftertaste to it. So I think we'll stick with honey for our sweetener and hopefully have a bee farm or bee something, have a bee situation someday. Stevia is not a long-term for me. Here we have some Marzanos that are still doing well. They're off the ground. They They're a beautiful big size. Beautiful. They had plenty of room. They have good earth. They just love it. And it's a little bit shadier back here. But these are huge compared to the ones that I have crowded in the tomato bed. It's just beautiful harvest. This is another Rutgers. The buds are loving these. I've let them go for too long. Yep, the little fruit flies have a field day. Let's see if I can get this vine off here. Okay. Alright. Hopefully the left ones will still flourish. Can you believe it? I planted more peas. They came up and then they were gone. Alright, we got lettuce coming up. We got a couple of, not too many, from my original planting of, what was this, the chard. So I seeded some more and they're coming up, little seedlings. But more of the lettuce that I planted originally survived. It's a mix here, and then I planted new seeds. Let's see what else is surviving in here. The ground cherry, not the ground cherry, yeah. Ground cherries are on their way out. So much ground cherries all over the floor, which I can't keep up with it. So this to me is a true testament of will. So these are the sunflowers that I harvested, cut off the tops, but it wants to flower more. Here was one of the big ones. And look at the little flowers that want to come up all the way down, like little what are those things? Like little Brussels sprouts. I didn't harvest the beans. Let me go do that. Not a bad little harvest. Well, the rain has began. You can't see it, but I am getting pelted here. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye!